What's going on, y'all? So listen, I just want to say, you spoiling ass bitches will not steal my joy. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into this episode of Power. This is episode 8. It's done. All right, listen, I'm done. Bitch, I was 5 minutes into this shit and I said Ghost is popping up at the house already. Terry is in his bed, bitch. Okay. Let me tell you something. The actor, Brandon, keep your hair shaved, okay? Cause that I don't know how old you are. I don't know if that's premature balding, but bitch, that hairline, you look better with your hair shaved. So, they told you and did you right on this show. I will say that. Body nice. I ain't gonna lie, all right? I said, look at him in his little what type of drawers was them? They look like bikinis and shit. I said, okay, look at Terry. But no, still don't make me say this shit. He gets a phone call saying somebody was here. I said, wait a minute, he still get a house phone? Who still has house phones? But that's just, because he lived like on the top floor of the penthouse, I guess, of his apartment building because it's an elevator that opened up in this thing. So I guess the people down at the bottom was trying to tell him you got somebody here. He gets dressed. Well, at least we thought he got dressed. Bitch just put on a t-shirt. And Ghost just came on through that shit. I swear to God, I thought Ghost figured that shit out about him and Tasha. Cause the way he came in all and like, yo, we need to talk. We need to fuck. I said, you finna whoop his ass right now. He only got his drawers and a t-shirt on like Adina Howard up in this bitch, okay? T-shirt and his panties on. I said, don't do it to him like that, not yet. Let him put his pants on. But Terry was just standing there like, what the fuck is up? Because he's scared a little bit, like, why you here, bruh? And he just telling him, have you spoken to Proctor? I don't think he heard from Proctor anything, but his whole thing is he trying to cover their backs just in case some shit may go down that, they can't charge or implicate him, Proctor, or, Terry in. So they talk about this stuff and trying to get the next plan of action or whatever together. Terry don't fuck with Ghost like that. Next thing you know, Ghost was about to leave out. And he sees this earring on the floor. He was like, I didn't know you had a girl. He was like, I ain't gonna say I got a girlfriend. It's like one of those gray areas type of thing. I said, yeah, because you fucking his wife. Because she married. Okay? Bitch. He was like, you know what? I can get Tasha to get you a house cleaner or whatever. She good at that. I said, you know what? We already know what type of house cleaner she good at. Bitch, speaking about Tasha ass. Well, let's just go in order. Okay? Tommy meeting up with Dre. Dre needs to just die, alright? Dre has to die because he is such a fucking snake, okay? He meets up with Tommy. They all talking about this whole thing with the Jimenez. They haven't heard anything from them. And Tommy just a little bit worried, but Dre like, just calm down, whatever. So they just, did the Serbians know about this? He's like, I don't give a fuck about Jason right now. He don't need to know about this. Shit gonna work out. So it don't matter. Dre kind of little fretting a little bit because if shit don't work out, it's gonna be trouble to fucking pay. So at this moment, we see Ghost. He going over there talking to Councilman Tate. All right, oh, it's good to be back up in the neighborhood. He was like, yeah, I want you to meet up with somebody else that you helped out of the neighborhood. He was like, where? Who? Bitch, who get out the fucking car? Dre. I said, you know what? Put your ass back up in there and go ship that shit somewhere else, okay? He was like, what's up? My name is Andre, Mr. Ghost. How you doing, Councilman Tate? I said, so y'all really, you finna play this shit? You saw the look on Ghost face like, ain't this about a fucking bitch? What type of game are we playing here? Okay? This moment should have been the thing that locks up in Ghost's head. If you ask me, that Andre really ain't to be trusted because he on some shit. Okay? I don't give a fuck what type of stuff this is. He on some shit. Like, he just snaking his way in just about every fucking avenue. Then you got Tasha. Tasha is literally in a daydream of herself. Daydreaming and I'm thinking of you. I said, snap the fuck out of it. Okay, Keisha trying to talk to her, Tasha. Tasha, that's a bitch. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, girl. What you were saying? She said, bitch, I seen you on the fucking TV. Do you really think that that was a good idea? I mean, Terry said that we need to do this and all this stuff. Oh, Terry? So you've been seeing a lot of Terry. She was like, girl, yes, let me tell you something. All this shit that was going on with us, he just told us that we supposed to be acting like we together and all this shit. I'm sitting here like, Tariq's little snake ass is on the couch, okay? He already think y'all lying. He already know that this full of shit. So you just gonna be out in the open with your bullshit, huh? Oh, okay. This motherfucker still got problems and I'm still over here. Cause then here come Raina. I said, y'all not finna talk about this shit in front of the kids. Raina said, bitch, no, y'all not finna talk about it, okay? Let me get my shit up in here. She wanna go to this little private school somewhere else. And she hands out the little pamphlet or whatever to him. And as she reaches her arm out, it's a big ass bruise on her arm. And I said, Tariq gotta fucking die. Tariq gotta go. Okay, you putting bruises on your fucking sister. And then, see, this is. Raina don't deserve the treatment that she's been getting because she is like probably besides little Yaz, the little baby that we barely see. Okay, we probably seen her 3 times this whole season out of 8. All right, episodes so far. Raina is just trying to live, okay? She's just trying to live her best life and do her best self, and y'all keep fucking up her plans, okay? She trying to be that good girl with some sense, but y'all keep fucking that up, all right? And Tariq putting his hands on her, and then she's still protecting y'all bitches because she lied for Tariq and said she just bumped into a kid at school. Bitch, I would have tricked. I would have said that little bitch right there sitting on the table, on the couch. He pushed me. He did all this shit. Whoop his ass, mama. But you know mama ain't gonna do nothing. Mama ain't finna do nothing but try to holler and he just gonna walk out and go like this. Y'all know that's how he do. He's sitting there on the couch listening, trying to make sure the bitch don't say nothing. But she wasn't gonna say nothing regardless. And he texting some nigga named Brains, which probably some dudes that he probably was already fucking around with when he was with Kanan. Talking about something, he ready to do that thing. And he was like, alright. I'm sitting here like, Jesus, you just don't learn. You almost died. And you still don't learn. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Then Mike Sandoval pops up on Sachs as he is outside and he was on his way to Angela's house, okay? And he was like, wait a minute, what's up? He said, yo, so we still in this shit together because, Mike asked to see me by myself. Did he ask to see you by yourself? It was like, nah, bro, but if I find anything about Donovan, because yes, I still believe that he did it or whatever, I'll let you know everything I find. And so he takes this information back to Angela and Donovan. And they already like, first of all, Donovan said, bitch, you think I did it? He was like, no, but hear me out. Mike thinks so. Okay, so he's playing along with it. Not trying to, give away the fact that they know that something is not right. And at this point in time, they got to find some more evidence or whatever because this gun shit is out, all this stuff, this video camera. They said we see if Mike is the one who did it. We see Mike going up the stairs in the videotape, but we don't see him with a gun or nothing. So how can we say that he planted? We need evidence and stuff like that. Angela goes to her little safe and get that burner phone out. The what's his name? Ghost gave her and was like, when I called this number, somebody inside the federal building answered this phone. So if it wasn't you, Sachs, and it wasn't you, Donovan, and it damn sure wasn't me, since I called it, it had to be Mike. Okay, so y'all, it's like, so are you really saying that Mike is the mole and he the one that killed Greg and he did all this with Lobos and all this stuff? Had his assistant Hugo and all. She was like, hell yeah. It was like, but how we gonna prove that shit? I said, y'all have figured it out. Okay, y'all should have did all this brainstorming before, bitch. So Councilman Tate, Andre, Ghost, they walking around the old neighborhood. He talking about rebuilding schools and communities and programs and stuff like that and getting the drugs and people off the street. And as he's talking, we see the Toros Locos game sitting on the corner and all that shit. So when he go take a phone call or something that he was doing, Ghost talks to Andre and was like, bitch, I told you I don't fucking like surprises. You could have gave me a heads up. He was like, well, Tate thought that this would be cool and everything. You'll be alright with it. But let me tell you what's going on. You need to talk to your boy Tommy because he about to start a war with the Jimenez. He was like, what the fuck? And it was like the whole shit over Julio's death and all this stuff. And, it didn't go the way that he wanted him to go. He went to go see them by himself, and now war about to start because they haven't responded back to his terms and shit. So Ghost eventually goes to go see, meet up with Tommy. And Tommy, right off the bat, because Tommy went to go meet up with his mama. His mama knows some shit, and she lying straight to Tommy's face, okay? Because as soon as she opened up that door, he said, who the fuck is John Teresi? Okay, Tony Teresi. He the one, no, he said, who's my father? Or tell me about my father and all this shit. How did you meet him? All this stuff. And then that's when he goes into saying that Tony Teresi talking about his daddy. He said that he know you. He said that he like redheads. He met you down in AC, okay, in the Tropicana, just like you just said. She gonna say, Well, maybe, you know, he was some type of associate with your father. Your father left you before you was even, you know, could even remember who he was, and then he died. Okay, that's all that you need to know. Maybe they knew each other. Maybe they knew each other and talked about me. I don't know. But then at this point in time, somehow she slick kind of, you know, eased it over with Tommy. Tommy was like, okay, cool, whatever, because that's when you get a phone call from Ghost. So when Tommy finally leaves, she just looking like, ain't this about a bitch? She got some explaining to do. How she gonna keep this shit under wrap? All right. Um, he gonna meet up with Ghost, and Ghost is like, "What the fuck are you doing? You about to start a war with Jimenez?" He don't even hit that at first. His whole focus is on, is Tony Teresi my father? Okay, he was like, I mean, I don't know, but that's what he kind of said. I kind of felt that's what he wanted to talk to you about or whatever. He was like, but bro, you spend time in jail with him. He was like, okay, and all I can see is y'all both got blue eyes. I don't fucking know. That's not fucking important right now. What's important is the fact that you're about to start a war with the Jimenez. Like, what is your problem? He was like, I went up there, I talked to them, and I told them about the Lobos kill. They didn't even flinch, bruh. He was like, how did you say it? And I was like, come through, Ghost. See, this is why shit flourished a little bit under Ghost command, because even though Ghost is a killer, Ghost has tact. Tommy is just crazy as fuck, okay? And when shit don't go the way that he wanted to go, he just gonna go ahead and just say, pop, 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 bitch, I'm gonna kill you and all this shit. You know, he's matching they crazy with his crazy. And at this point in time, we don't know which one crazier, Tommy or the Jimenez, because they both damn near on the same playing field. We about to find the fuck out. You know, he was like, I don't want to start a war knowing that I won't be able to, you know, win it or whatever, but hell, why don't you just come up in this bitch? I did bend that shit when it fell. Oh, fuck me. But anyway, he was like, Ghost, why don't you come in on this shit? And see, this is the whole thing that we've been saying. Like, regardless of if Tommy tried to go on his own and people want Tommy out the thing, Tommy can be a liability sometimes because of his anger. All right. And he needs Ghost there to smooth that shit over. There you go. Ghost be trying to get out. Every time he try to get out the motherfucking gang, it's something that pulls him right the fuck back. So he convinces him to go ahead and stay, you know, to come to the little meet up, to the meeting and all that shit. Dre, this motherfucker went and gathered up all the lieutenants or whatever who got different territories, Cristobal included, you know, and telling them that, hey, y'all need to strap the fuck up because a war may be coming with the Jimenez. We don't know what's going on. We don't know why. And they said it is what it is. I can't afford to go to war. Tommy is crazy. He this, he that. Everybody's just saying some negative shit about Tommy. And it was like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but he the boss at this moment. So if he, the connect, say do this shit, this is what we gotta fucking do, okay? So get the shit prepared. They get ready to leave. Cristobal coming up to him like, so why we doing this shit? It was like, look, bro, you don't think I want to do this shit? I just got the job as the distro, but we gotta, you know, be on the lookout, heads up and all this shit. I said, you have to die, Dre. And you can take Cristobal down there with your ass too. Okay? I want to slap the goatee off his face. I really do. Bitch. Fucking bitch. Got my nigga killed. When the black door was like, what, them Spanish niggas? The shit just took me out for some reason. I don't know why, but it just took me out. I'm just sitting here like, oh Lord. Then Ghost pops up on Proctor finally at his daughter's school after he just dropped her off. And Proctor's like, what the fuck you doing? He was like, I went to your house a couple of nights ago, and instead of just seeing you, I see Mock out there. What the fuck he wanted to talk to you about? He said, bitch, Mock rolled up on me because of the whole thing with Bailey and his you know, my number being the last number that he called before he went missing, and then it was pinging off the cell towers up above my apartment and all that shit. That's what he called me for. He was trying to spook me to snitch and all that shit, but it ain't nothing like that. All right, he was like, you know what, bruh? So what you trying to say? Where's the recordings and where's the body and all this shit? He said, you really think I kept that stuff? He was like, I don't know, bruh. You could have used that shit to protect you. He said, if I wanted to protect myself and if I wanted to fucking snitch on y'all, listen, I would have been did that shit and I would not even be here at this moment. I said, you better come through, Proctor. Proctor act as if he's been in situations like this before. Okay? Because he a little bit too calm for me. Like, bitch, I've been here, I done this, I know the program, you know, I know not to open my mouth, keep my mouth like this, bitch, okay? We in this together, whether I want to or not. Ghost was like, I just don't know who to trust right now. I said, well, okay. And Proctor just told him, if anytime Mock come back up there to me, you know, I'm gonna make sure I call your ass, because that's what Ghost told him to do. I said, that's your best bet, bitch. So, God damn it. Tommy went over there to Connie's house, okay? He went over there to Connie's house trying to make it seem like he was looking for Sammy. He really wasn't looking for Sammy. He was just going all through their stuff. I was like, first of all, it was a little rude the way that he was doing it. Connie asking questions like, hey, I don't know no Egan's. You said you was Egan and all this stuff. What's your mama name? What's this? You want some water? You know what I got? I got some whiskey and stuff. And went right to the picture. Also, this Tony right here, he was a nice looking man when he was young. Opened up the damn case and going through it and all this shit. Connie looking like, well, damn, bitch. I'm looking like, well, damn, bitch. You know? And while she was in there getting him a drink or whatever, he gets a photo album and he just started flipping through it and he sees something that catches his attention and he takes the picture out. And then he takes her drink and was like, you know what? I got something else I need to do that just came up. Tell Sammy I'm looking for him to get in contact with me and I'll see you later. So the next thing we see is Ghost and Tommy at this meeting with the Jimenez, okay? And basically what Ghost said is this. Look, this whole shit that's going on, you supposed to have honored your deal. All right, the deal that I made, regardless of if I'm still in charge or not. Okay, and that was that Julio don't get touched. Now y'all done went back on y'all word. Okay, so therefore, if y'all don't want shit to be exposed about you not killing Lobos, because you run the streets and have a reputation of fear. We know that this is your little calling card and all this stuff about the Jimenez cartel and all this shit, and that y'all probably been killed over hundreds of bodies and shit like that. So if you don't want it being put out there that you ain't really killed this boy, you're gonna give us what we asked for, okay? And if not, we gonna expose you. Oh, girl was like, so you gonna risk going to jail? She said, no. That's not what we doing, okay? We got people in place for this shit already, all right? So either you go ahead and give us the territory that we asked for, or we will expose you, all right? And you got until tomorrow, okay? I said, well, damn. They was shook just a little bit, but see, we don't know which way they gonna go. Dre asked, I said, y'all brought Dre ass along. God damn. Dre and Grimace in the car. They get in the car. They looking like, what happened? It was like, we don't know yet. They still didn't answer. They got till tomorrow. And Tommy like, and if they don't say nothing by tomorrow, it's gonna be a war. Dre, you notice how hard he was looking at the Jimenez over there when they left the building. They was getting into their own car. Next thing you know, we see Tommy going over there to his mama's house and he is pissed. All right. She was like, what's going on? What's going on? He said, this is our old, he shows her the picture. It's a guy, Teresi, holding a little baby boy. He said, this is our old house back in Flushing. Okay. And you said that you didn't know Tony or whatever. This is me that he's holding. Okay. So why the fuck is he holding me if he ain't my father? He said, bitch, that's your dad. Okay, that's your daddy. He done came over, he wanted to take a picture. I took the picture. He held you. He said, I'll be back in half an hour. And the bitch never showed up. Okay, so there's that. He was pissed the fuck off as he should be. But, she was just telling him, don't trust that man. Whatever he wants from you, don't do it because nothing good can come out of it. So I'm just sitting here like, it's fucked up that Kate did that to Tommy, but I think I probably believe Kate when she said, don't trust that motherfucker because nothing good can come out of it. All right. Moving on. We got Sachs meeting up with Mike. And Sachs is meeting up with Mike in a bar, spilling all the beans, okay, about what went on in their conversation with Donovan, Angela, and them at her apartment talking about something. It's Mike that did the shit. She about to go down there and talk to Mike and all this stuff, and he had to be the mole. And I said, Sachs, this better be a spring operation because you are about to be canceled, okay? You are skating on thin fucking ice because they already said that Donovan made it known that Mike came over to his house. He didn't know that he had weekends with his kids or whatever, and that his daughter was gonna tell what happened because he told the daughter not to say anything. But of course she said, "Bitch, you got me fucked up. I'm telling my daddy." Okay, and that's exactly what she did. And they was like, now he got a murder list going on. If he really is the person that did this, he got a murder list going on, and he just putting everybody on there. So I was like, you gonna set her up to get killed like this? I mean, I want her to die or whatever, but I want Tasha to fuck her up one good time first, bitch. You know? But or at least Keisha, somebody to fuck her up on that side of the fence, not the FBI side. But all of a sudden, knock, knock, knock. Who at the door? It's Mike over there at Angela's house. I said, bitch, Sachs, you fucked up. Okay, you's a fucking pussy, okay? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Mike come up in there. I'm sorry I came over unannounced. Bitch, I would have closed the door in his face. But, you know, this is all to a plan because come to find out, Angela is mic'd up, all right? And they mock Sachs, Donovan, and some other FBI people are outside in the van just listening to everything that's going on, trying to get a confession out of Mike. Because they went and ran this all up to Mock. Told y'all, Mock wasn't playing. Sachs wasn't playing, you know. He was just too obvious with it. They figured this shit out a little bit too quick. You know what I'm saying? That's how sloppy Mike has always been throughout this whole thing. That goes to show that motherfucker ain't no killer like that because he don't know how to cover his tracks good enough to not get caught. All right. So he just sitting there and was like, you know, Sachs told me, well, I heard that you trying to go to Mock about this whole thing about me being the mole and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, Sachs told you, huh? I was like, I mean, yeah, you know, why would you do some shit like that? You got the wrong person. She was like, oh, I got the wrong person? Let me just tell you this, Mike. He said, you ain't got no fucking evidence to back this shit up, okay? She said, yes, I do. You see this picture? This is you leaving Hugo Sanchez's house, okay? After you realized that he was dead. And a few minutes later, this is also, Greg, who saw you going up or leaving that resident too. So I'm gonna tell you what I think happened. Greg saw you, and you realized that Greg saw you, so you went over there to his house to see exactly what it is that he found out or whatever, and you took care of the situation right then and there. That's what happened. He was like, "Bitch, you don't know nothing." She said you was working with Lobo. She was the mole. What was it that he had on you? Was he gonna kill your family? Was he gonna kill your daughter? He was like, "You don't know what it's like to have somebody have so much control over you. You don't know what they gonna do to your family." I said, bitch, shut up. And don't nobody give a fuck about your tears right now, bitch. You know, at this moment in time, I was like, I hate that they put this shit up here like this. Because, you know, I was like, go ahead and shoot the bitch, okay? But then I'm like, nah, don't shoot her because I really don't want her to go out this way. I want her to go out, but I don't want her to go out this way. It's too fucking easy, okay? I want her to be tortured a little bit, you know. And then I want her to be taken out by somebody on Ghost Team. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. But, he gonna pull out a gun. And she was like, he said, bitch, if I'm going to go down, bitch, you going to go down too. Because let me tell you something. It was some stuff that was talked about with logos. Your name came up a whole bunch of times. She pulled that cord out real quick. I said, Angela is a dirty bitch, all right? She ain't want her tea being spilled no more, okay? And he was like, turn around. At this point in time, before they even got to this part, Donovan said, bitch, we finna go up there and get this hoe. Mark said, just wait a minute. He was like, no, I let him slip past once. We finna get his motherfucking ass right now. So they going up in there. Next thing you know, Mike had her turn to the back, and he was like giving up this whole story about self-defense and shit. She was like, that ain't gonna sound right when I've been shot from the back. She pulled out a gun and turned around and shot him in the shoulder. She was like, let me tell you this. She showed that he was you know, she was mic'd up. They finna come up in here. You got enough time to find a cover for yourself. I said, Angela, what the fuck are you doing? He like, why the fuck you trying to help me? I said, what the fuck is going on, Angela? This man was about to kill you. He killed Greg. He confessed to it. They got him on tape. And now you want to cover up a little bit of other stuff. Angela, fuck out of here. And y'all notice how Sachs looked at Angela and the whole situation like she was full of shit when she said he went for his gun and she tried to protect herself. She gonna tell him, you're not a murderer, you're a witness. I said, bitch, what the fuck does that mean? Girl, stop. So Kate, she not here for the fuck shit that Tony is trying to do. She went up there to that jail and said, bitch, you left. We made a fucking arrangement and we had an agreement. Don't talk to my motherfucking son no more. Because if you do, I'm going to fuck around and tell your wife, Connie, that you got a kid that she don't even fucking know about. Okay? Because remember, Connie and him been together for 40 years. Okay? They've been married for 40 years. So that means he had an outside kid. Okay? And he said, You should know me well enough whether I'm locked up or free on the street. This ain't the one to play with to be threatening me. She said, bitch, just leave my son the fuck alone. I ain't scared. I said, okay, come through, Kate. When she ain't doped up, the bitch worth something. But anyway, this little dumb fuck Tariq. He's in the car with Brains. Brains was the other dude that was with doing all the robberies and stuff with Kanan. And some other nigga that sit in the passenger seat. So basically they got this little scam going on trying to rob these rich people houses or whatever. You gonna go up there, act like you a little student or whatever from the school trying to get some money, with selling candy bars for your little swim team or whatever. And you're gonna check out the house or whatever when you get in there. And then, give us the heads up so we can come up in there and do our thing. So Tariq is just checking himself out in the window and all this stuff. And the dude that was in the passenger seat was like, what the fuck you think this is? A fashion show? You modeling or some shit? He said, nigga, I live in a neighborhood like this. I gotta dress the fucking part, okay? I'm a black kid. And Brains was like, told you the nigga was smart. I was like, well, okay, I give you that shit, Tariq. You came in handy for that. So he go up there, and let me just say this: take notes, okay? Because I know y'all done seen no matter where y'all go, especially out here in Chicago, they be on either CTA, which is our transportation out here, and all over. These little kids, half of them look like they already out of school with wrinkled up fucking flyers and shit talking about, and you can't even read the shit. They just put it in your face, don't even open it up, talking about something you want to donate to our basketball team or whatever. And y'all look a fucking mess. And y'all want people to give you money and you look like you literally just woke up. Bitch, please. But anyway, anyway, moving on from that, what was I finna say? He goes up to the lady house, and when he gets to the door, he ring the doorbell. She opens up. He was like, hi, ma'am, I'm from this school, and I'm trying to raise money for our swim team. I'm just made it to national. I do the 100 backstroke and the 100 butterfly. Oh, yes, my son used to do that before he went to college and gave it all up. And I'm just sitting here like, you dumb, okay? Keep the door closed. See, that's all she had to fucking do was keep that gate closed, okay? White people too fucking trusting, and I'm gonna be quite honest, and I'm gonna be fucking brutal and rude and real with y'all. Nah, it ain't rude. It's the fucking truth. She caused this shit to happen to her fucking self, cause she said, "Come on in." I said, bitch, wait a minute. You don't know this bitch from nowhere. And you gonna tell him to come in? This is what you do? No. You want to go and buy something from him. You tell him to hold on a minute. Let me go get my shit. And you keep that gate closed. Okay? You know that. You fucking know that. He steps in. He look in a little bit. Bitch. And he told them, come on in. They come up in there, ransack the place, knock his ass out in the ribs and shit because they had to make it look real and all that stuff. He dropping the candy box and then go upstairs and rumbling through her stuff. One of the dudes about to rape the girl. I said, ain't this some shit? And at this point, Tariq went upstairs and was like, telling him to stop. Brains telling him to stop. Because at first he said, what you doing, man? Get up off her. He said, fuck you, man. Shut the fuck up and keep going. And I'm sitting here like, are you serious? You just gonna let him rape her? And at this point, when Tariq saw this shit and said, Brains telling him to stop, he said, I wish you hadn't did that. And that's when he shot the bitch. Anyway, so when they went on ahead and did all of that shit, uh Jesus, what the fuck happened? He said, Tariq just runs. Tariq runs away and all this, and they looking for his ass. And then he calling him, and he was like gonna text him, yo, where you at? Hit me up. All this shit. I'm like, hit you up? You just committed a murder in front of me. You want me to hit you up, and you showed the bishop. Come on now, listen. You after me? I'm not gonna hit you up. But then what got me was, Tariq, you dropped that box of candy and you left that box of candy there. So when the cops come and dust for fucking Prince, bitch, ain't your Prince gonna be on that fucking box? I mean, I know he probably ain't in the system, but damn. Okay, that's DNA evidence still. But after that, we get this shit with what's his name? What that nigga name? Sandoval in there with Mark, and he talking about something. I confess to everything, okay? And if you give me immunity. He was like, bro, what? He said, no, you gonna want to give me immunity because if you don't, I will say that all my cases, you know, throughout this whole system, I was under Lobo's influence, and then, the California shit, it'll follow you all the way over that you was the head of this force and you couldn't figure out what was going on, and it'll make your career go down in flames. But if you give me this immunity, I give you everything, and it's gonna make you look like the fucking hero. That was music to Mox's ears, like, let me go see what I can do. Okay? And Angela took it upon herself to go down there to Terry's office and tell him that, they found the killer and it was Mike Sandoval. And he looking all surprised, like, what? So James really didn't do it. She was like, yes, James didn't really do it, okay? Then he goes over there because he called James to talk to him about what happened, to deliver the news. He goes over there. He sees Tasha first at the house. And he was like, Mrs. St. Patrick. She was like, Miss St. Patrick. I said, bitch, your husband right there. That's why he's being formal, ho. Okay, get with the fucking program. And so at this moment, this when they start talking and telling him about he's off the hook. They found his killer, and Mike was the one, and he was like, damn, and he had me all up in the stands and everything. He was like, yeah, this gonna be a field day for the prosecution and the FBI, DOJ, and all that shit. And so when James left to go talk to Stern, tell him the good news and all this shit, Terry looking at when they was hugging, he looking all jealous and shit. I said, that's that man's wife regardless. So, of course, get out your feelings. He said, we going to have to be careful next time. Because, look, and going to show her the earring. Oh, my God, why you do that? I said, Tasha, if you don't get out of here. And the way that they got so close, I was like, no, you are not about to kiss this man's wife in his house. Okay? I said, Tasha, now you crossing the fucking line. What? All of y'all in the comments kept on saying, Tasha need to stop fucking around with the help. Okay? And I had to think about it. And I said, you know what? Y'all right. Because everybody that Tasha done fucked around with has worked with ghosts or their family in some type of way. Bitch, girl, get some outside people. That's what I'm talking about. You deserve dick, but outside dick. Okay? And he gonna say something, let's go on a date. I said, get the fuck out of here. So Mike got shanked, okay? That's what wound up happening. Tony had Mike shanked for Tommy. Tommy, Ghost, and Proctor was at True talking about this whole thing because if Mike can spill everything about Tommy being connected to Ghost, and then that's gonna be connected to Proctor and can have a RICO case. So they said we can't have that, so we gotta kill this motherfucker. Tommy went on ahead and said, listen, I can get Tony to do it. Tony agreed to it. He was like, you family, ain't no charge or whatever. Killed that motherfucker, had the doctor come up in there and shank him. Okay, slit his throat. I mean, didn't even really slit it, just cut it right here and he bled out. So now Angela and them looking like, who the fuck did this? Because we was the only ones that knew that he was up in here. She bending down talking about something. This was for Greg. I said, oh, okay. And then, after all of that go past, we get this whole thing with Dre ass. Dre has to die. I remember seeing in the preview where they was gonna be on the top of a roof. Dre and Tommy had a gun to Drake, and Dre was like this, no. Tommy has to torture the fuck out of that motherfucker because you gonna go behind his back. It's one thing to hook Kanan up with fucking Tariq. Then it's another thing to have Julio killed and to cause all this shit. And now you doing this, you trying to take his empire. Okay, you literally went behind his back to the Jimenez, bitch, get your words together, and trying to get Tommy's empire. And you said you can take it from him, run it because you want to be the biggest drug dealer in New York. You got this whole deal with the Bassett Hotel, and they got like 20 hotels and nightclubs that you can run drugs through and get revenue from. And I said, bitch, I forgot all about that. And I don't even think Ghost know anything about that still. Bitch, that's fucked up. Okay? And Alicia went on ahead and signed off on Tommy's little request to give this motherfucker some more time so that he can get the shit done and deliver on what he said he can do. And Diego said, if you can't do it, bitch, we gonna kill your ass too. Okay? He in the car with Cristobal. Cristobal asking, you think you can really come through? Absolutely. I said, burn yourself with that motherfucking blunt, bitch. Just burn yourself, okay? Burn your lip all up. Burn your nubs or your fingers all up too. Because I'm just tired of you, Dre. All right? Then, at the end of the episode, we see Tariq doing a complete 100 degree change. Not 180. He almost. He ain't there yet. But it took for him, to see a bitch almost get fucking raped that he helped set up, and for a bitch to get killed, to all of a sudden want to come to his senses a little bit. Okay? Because he up there talking about some, hi, Dad, good night, sir, while he was in there talking to Councilman Tate and all this shit about, they celebrating about him being exonerated, and then this deal coming in for the project development and the money and shit. And he like, what about this school up in Connecticut that Raina was talking about, Choke? I was like, what? He was like, oh yeah, I might be interested because, they got a good basketball team and science and shit. I said, oh, bitch. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode. I will see you guys later. Peace.